So, hi, James, how are you?
Very good. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. And thank you for joining me today. So, first of all, it'd be great to hear a bit about Douglas Dynamics and who you guys are.
All right. Douglas Dynamics is the North American premier manufacturer of work truck equipment and solutions.
Hmm.
We're headquartered in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Company been in business over 70 years and do quite a bit in terms of upfitting trucks for work applications.
Okay, great. And a bit about you and your role and how long you've been at the company.
All right. I've been at Douglas a little over 15 years.
Wow.
Basically have responsibility for our what we call our global sourcing and supply organization across the company
Mhm.
in 22 locations and three divisions.
Okay, great. And so my next question really then is how do you get involved with complex B2B deals like rebates?
All right. Um, Kind of involved all the way from negotiating those into kind of key supplier contracts through approval of those agreements with suppliers and then kind of tracking our performance levels against the rebates that we've negotiated.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And what problems then were you seeing with rebates, and how did you guys manage them before as well?
Yeah, we manage everything in Excel spreadsheets,
Hmm.
uh, which isn't necessarily the best way to be able to do that,
Yeah.
um, particularly as we've grown through acquisitions and added divisions.
Mm.
A lot of moving pieces to keep track of in an Excel document. So, that kind of prompted us to look for solutions that would help us better organize um, rebates as well as being able to make sure we're tracking those agreements to kind of what was originally proposed, both in terms of timing of payout and eligibility of sales.
Mm. Yeah, and I think I've heard that as a common theme. Really, you kind of start off in Excel, and then it becomes more complex, and that's when yeah, that's when it becomes harder to track. So that's interesting. Okay, and when did you realize then that what was the kind of turning point at which you wanted a solution, and what was the motivation then really to move?
Yeah, I think it's again, as we've grown, we've doubled in sales in the last 5 years as an organization,
Okay.
and definitely see acquisitions as a key part of our go forward strategy. So
Mm.
recognize that the complexity of this and tracking of rebates is only going to become more significant.
Mm. Okay. And I guess the next question really is why did you pick Enable?
Basically, we picked Enable because the product is very intuitive, so easy for our teams to be able to adopt the tool,
Mm.
as well as the fact that, as a kind of mid-sized company, um, there's lots of more sophisticated solutions. We think Enable provides kind of the satisfaction of our needs as well as the opportunity to continue to improve.
Okay, great. And just out of curiosity, how big is the team that's usually managing rebates?
Our total team is about 35 across North America.
Okay, great. And I imagine now they'll all be logging into Enable by the sounds of things.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess, Jim, my next question then is what are you excited to get from Enable? I imagine obviously there's the classic, automation and not having to be on Excel with the risks that can bring, but anything else really that you're looking to gain and maybe something that you weren't doing before, maybe looking for new opportunities with suppliers?
Yeah, again, because we've done this in Excel spreadsheets, kind of each division and location has a little different format. So certainly one of the key things that Enable brings is that ability to standardize the process, but then ultimately is to give us some transparency. We didn't have the ability for divisions necessarily to know that there may have already been an existing agreement with their division with a common supplier. Now Enable will give us that capabilities.
Yeah. Okay, great. So before you go, Jim, it would be nice to know just a bit about you and what you like to do in your spare time when you're not busy as VP of Global Sourcing.
All right. Definitely enjoy traveling.
Yeah.
And in particular, have two grandsons, 7 and 5 years old. So
Oh,
they take up most of the rest of my time.
yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Well, thank you for joining me and thank you for answering those questions, really. And I'm excited to see your journey with Enable and catching up to hear how things have gone.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to it as well.